Dear teachers, Namaskar, hello, and welcome to this module called The Magic of Active Collaborative Learning. We shall learn about what is active learning and why is it important. We will know about important active learning pedagogies and a few strategies or tools of active learning that you can easily use in your classroom. What is active learning? It is an approach to teaching that involves actively engaging students with the course material through discussions, problem solving, case studies, role plays, and many other methods. The students actively participate in the learning process as opposed to passively taking in the information. Let us learn about experiential learning. Learning by doing is the basis for this theory. Here's how we go about it. Stage 1 is concrete experience, where the learner needs to immerse in the experience by feeling it with all the 5 senses. Stage 2 is reflective observation. Reflective observation focuses on observing and perceiving. Stage 3 is abstract conceptualization. In this stage, the learner gathers and analyzes the information and draws conclusions. Stage 4 is active experimentation. This is the final stage where the learner applies what he has learned. The learner can enter a learning cycle at any stage, but must go through all the 4 stages to complete his learning cycle. Let us look at some strategies that are designed to support students' active learning in a variety of contexts. We begin with team-based learning. Here, we use a special sequence of individual study, group work, immediate feedback, and teacher-facilitated discussion to create a motivational framework for students' learning. Here are the steps. Use the flipped approach. Provide the students with learning resources like video links or handout, or tell them to read up a portion of the textbook chapter before coming to class. Now, how to ensure that the class is engaged with the content? There is a readiness assurance process in which there is a short individual readiness assurance test. Then, the team discusses, solves problems, and bridges learning gaps. And then the teacher conducts the team readiness assurance test. The facilitator can then thrash out any troublesome course concept. This is an excellent strategy to solve authentic, real-world problems, make collaborative team decisions, justify their decisions to other teams during discussions, debates, all facilitated by an academic teacher. Let us now learn about the 3-step interview. Use this to practice active listening skills. It will help your students to develop important social skills, demonstrating respect, appreciating their peers' ideas and opinions, without being judgmental about them. The teacher provides the interview topic and states the duration of the interview. The teacher calls for think time. In pairs, learner A interviews learner B. Learner A then thanks and praises learner B. The pairs switch their roles. Learner B interviews learner A and again thanks and praises learner A. The pairs then pair up to form groups of 4. It's a round robin. Each learner in turn shares with the team what he or she has learned in the interview. Let us explore the fishbowl strategy. Fishbowl is a strategy for organizing large group discussions. Students are separated into an inner circle and an outer circle. In the inner circle of 6 to 12 students, called the fishbowl, students have an active discussion on a relevant topic. The students in the outer circle listen to the discussion, observe, and take notes. The facilitator ensures every student in the fishbowl gets a chance to speak their mind. The outer circle then gets a chance to present and defend their ideas when they are shuffled to the inner circle by the facilitator. After all students have rotated through the fishbowl, it's time to wrap up the process with a full class discussion. Here is a very interesting strategy for collaborative learning called Jigsaw. You can call it the teacher's favorite. The Jigsaw classroom is a research-based cooperative learning technique invented and developed in the early 1970s by Elliot Aronson. And here is how it goes. Step 1. Divide students into groups of 4 called home groups. Step 2. Appoint one student from each group as a leader. Step 3. Divide the day's lesson into 4 segments. Step 4. Assign each student to learn one segment. Step 5. Give students time to read over their segment at least twice and become very familiar with it. Step 6. Form temporary expert groups by having one student from each home group join other students assigned to the same segment. Step 7. After sharing their insights about the same topic, bring the students back into their home groups. Step 8. Now ask each student to share their expertise to the home group. Step 9. Teacher should visit group to group, observing the process and clear doubts if any. Step 10. At the end of the session, give a quiz on the material to check for their understanding. It is super easy to deal with large texts in the classroom when students take charge of their learning with the Jigsaw strategy. Let us explore case-based learning. In case-based learning, students develop skills in analytical thinking and reflective judgment by reading and discussing specific real-life scenarios. Students examine the case together as a team and address the problems within to develop a reasonable conclusion. The instructor's role is that of a facilitator. What can be used as cases? Cases are generally stories or narratives that include characters and scenarios. They can be written, video, or interactive cases and can include simulations and games as well. When creating or choosing cases, teachers must ensure that cases are short, they tell a story, they are relevant and interesting to students. They are based on factual information. They provoke reflection and culminate in decision-making. And they have a learning purpose. Let us look at field-based learning. In field-based learning, teaching is extended to a site outside of the classroom or laboratory, exposing students to a real-world setting. This pedagogy is generally chosen because the experience provides an opportunity to present materials, processes, experiences or phenomena that are not accessible to students in a classroom setting. How to go about this methodology? Prepare students before the trip takes place through a lecture, a handout, or a video. Foster awareness of history, significance, or background. Encourage them to ask questions and interact with the environment. Provoke meta-learning by helping them think through the field experience holistically. Build upon learning by providing time for discussion on site. Illustrate concepts by providing relevant examples. Finally, assess by setting assignments on what students learned on the field studies to ensure that students pay careful attention to what they experienced. Let us dive deep into inquiry-based learning, for inquiry-based learning is for the curious mind. This methodology helps students to be self-directed learners because it helps them to satisfy their curiosity and understand the concepts themselves. The steps for inquiry-based learning are: students take their initiative. They determine what they need to learn. They identify resources, use the resources, report their learning, and they assess their progress. Let us explore problem-based learning. Problem-based learning is a student-centered approach in which students learn about a subject by working in groups to solve an open-ended problem. This problem is what drives their motivation and drives their learning. Take a spoonful of creativity, add a dash of innovation, sprinkle in some creative thinking, and the magic potion of self-directed learning is ready, powered by PBL. What is the teacher's role in PBL? The teacher determines a problem that is interesting, is aligned with the curriculum, and is unusual for students. The problem should be demanding and should teach them new skills. Share the problem with students in a narrative form with complete background, being careful not to give out excessive information. Allow the students to find out more details as they work into the problem. Place students in groups, well mixed in diversity and skill levels. Support the students with understanding the content on a deeper level. What is the student's role in PBL? The students work collaboratively. They analyze all the facets of a problem and break it down. Brainstorm and construct a list of what is known about the problem. They construct the problem statement in their own words. They generate a list of all possible solutions. They establish a timeline with concrete actions. They list what needs to be done to solve the identified problem. They prioritize and execute the various action steps. They organize and write the team's final report of the solution. The learners assess themselves and their peers to develop skills in self-assessment and peer assessment. Understand community-based learning. Community-based learning is a pedagogical strategy that integrates academic content with community engagement. This work is based on mutually beneficial partnerships between students and community groups. The goal is to address community-identified needs and create positive social change. How do we go about this pedagogy? Line up the appropriate community partner. Ensure that the project benefits both the students and the community partner. Meet up with the community partner to discuss expectations. Clearly outline the commitments of both the parties. Provide well in advance a detailed schedule of events with dates and times. The benefits of community-based learning are manifold. Students experience higher levels of engagement. They take a deeper approach to learning when they can apply what they are studying to address a real-world problem. Dear teachers, active collaborative learning has many benefits. It leads to higher engagement. It certainly makes learning more fun and exciting. It increases learners' motivation to learn. It improves collaboration skills, communication skills, critical thinking skills, creativity, and innovation. It builds loads of self-confidence. Finally, it promotes higher learning retention. So, dear teachers, what are we waiting for? Let's shake up our pedagogical approaches a bit.